I guess it doesn't matter. We are going to go to our next guest, who is patiently waiting on the telephone. We will get to them here in just a few seconds. And thanks for joining us back here on our big program. And we have got Sherry Murphy coming up, also Shelley Neese coming up as well. But our next guest is a Forbes space journalist, Bruce Dorminey. He is, for the first time ever, he realized that dissolved oxygen, a molecule that was critical for the evolution of life on Earth, could be available on Mars in quantities that could suffice to support aerobic life. And he joins us live from South Korea, I believe. Thanks for staying up with us or getting up with us. I really do appreciate it, Bruce. Thanks for making time today, my friend.
Well, that's fine. Thank you for having me.
Now, you're also a great author as well. You've written a series of books. First of all, tell us a little about this. Okay, go ahead, my friend.
Actually, one book on extrasolar planets, distant wonders, the search for planets beyond the solar system.
Fantastic. Now, tell us a little bit about this this dissolved oxygen molecule. Tell us about this.
Well, basically, it just means that oxygen is more readily available in particularly subsurface water that had been previously thought on Mars.
Yeah.
There's always been debate about whether Mars had subsurface water, but this just kind of sweetens the pot for the potential for aerobic life. In other words, life that uses oxygen.
Yes.
We do have anaerobic molecules on Earth. I mean, not molecules, but microbes on Earth, which developed very, very early on in the history of Earth, and then the Earth went through a great oxidation event, a GOE, and we obviously are oxygen-breathing creatures. So this helps. I'm getting a horrible feedback.
No, it's probably on your end. You sound fine with us. Just keep talking to us here about this molecule, my friend. We're waiting with bated breath to hear about the molecule, my friend.
Yeah. Anyway, basically, it's just better news for astrobiologists, and hoping that they might someday detect a living microbe on Mars, which was not something that was not actually thought. There's always been debate about whether Mars has had life.
Yes.
But now this news lends the possibility that Mars might have life in the present era, but it's subsurface.
We've got a great guest with us today, science journalist, author of Distant Wanderers, The Search for Planets Beyond the Solar System. Bruce Dorminey with us today. He writes about the over-horizon technology, primarily as astronomy, space science. He's written about everything from potato blight to dark energy. He's with us today here on our big broadcast. And tell us a little bit about colonization of Mars. Let's talk a little bit about that. What do you see on the horizon there, my friend?
Well, the goalposts keep being pushed back, so to speak.
Yes.
Every president seems to have this vision thing, and we've been talking about going to Mars for quite some time. And then, of course, Elon Musk has been talking about doing even a one-way trip for himself to Mars. I am not so optimistic about this happening in the near future. Can you hear me better now?
I've got you, my friend. We've got you. Keep talking to us about Mars colonization.
Anyway, so I think that we have a lot of work to do in terms of radiation studies and the biological, the impact to humans in getting to Mars is going to take at least 9 month trip. If we go by nuclear propulsion, we could probably get it down to 4 to 6 months. But let's say you did a 3-month stint. to do that. That's why I've always said to get to Mars, we really have to get back to the moon. And my biggest disappointment as someone who grew up with Apollo is that we haven't. It's been 50 years and we haven't been back to the moon.
Yes. We have got a great guest with us today. He joins us live here in our broadcast, Bruce Dorminey, and he is with us today talking about all sorts of different things. He's got a fantastic book out there. Tell us a little bit about your book, my friend.
Well, the book came out quite some time ago. It was one of the first books on extrasolar planets, popular books on extrasolar planets. And when I wrote it, when I put the finishing touches on it, there were about 60 known extrasolar planets. Most of them so-called hot Jupiters, which are Jupiter-mass planets, gaseous planets, not suitable for life at all, which orbit their stars on very, very short orbits, sometimes within 4 or 5 days in short orbits. So they're obviously gaseous, they're obviously hot, can be gravitationally locked with the star. And Kepler, which I think we had discussion about that off air, the Kepler mission, which just ended, was a grand success. And it uses a totally different method of looking for planets, And it sorted 150,000 stars, and by its estimates, the estimates that it came up with statistically are that of the 200 to 400 billion stars in the Milky Way galaxy, an estimated 20 to 50% are thought to have Earth-like planets. I mean, that's an incredible figure if you think about it.
We've got a great guest with us today. Bruce Dorminey joins us here in our broadcast. Coast to coast, border to border, on TuneIn, iTunes, and Radio Loyalty. He is getting up early with us out there in South Korea. I appreciate him making time for us today here in our broadcast. Now, your book is incredibly well written. You've put a lot of time and effort into this. Who do you envision to be the potential readers for your book?
Well, it actually is geared toward... It came out actually in 2002. It's still in press. I think it's a nice reference book for anybody interested in extrasolar planets. And basically, it's geared toward the general public. It's geared toward people who you can pick it up and not know anything about astronomy and go from chapter 1 through the end. And not only have you learned a lot about astronomy, hopefully you've been entertained, and you also know a lot about the search for extrasolar planets and the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI. And so I'm still very proud of the book. I thought about doing a sequel or a follow-up, but I probably will at some point on extrasolar planets, but there have been actually a lot of other follow-on books on this subject, and I think the big mystery to me is how life started on Earth, and we still don't know that, and that's the subject of astrobiology, which is becoming the big field right now.
We've got Bruce Dorminey with us today. Well, Bruce, I appreciate you making time for us today. Thanks for getting up with us early, and thanks for being with us. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Appreciate it. There goes Bruce Dorminey. We are going to take a time out. When we